Let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest with yourself. How many times did you get up last night to use the bathroom? 2 times. 3 more. And when you woke up this morning, did you feel rested, or did you feel like you've been hit by a truck? Are your ankles a little swollen by the end of the day? Or is your blood pressure just a little bit higher than it used to be? If any of this sounds familiar, I want you to listen very closely, because what I'm about to share could be the most important thing you hear this year. We're talking about your kidneys, not your heart, not your liver, your kidneys. These two humble bean-shaped organs are the silent workhorses of your body. They are your body's filtration system, working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to filter about 50 gallons of blood every single day. Now here's the problem. For men over 50, the kidneys are under siege. They have been filtering for decades. They have been dealing with our dietary choices, our stress, our lack of sleep, and the simple wear and tear of life. And the thing about kidney disease is that it's a silent thief. By the time you notice symptoms, the damage is often already significant and permanent. It's estimated that millions of people are walking around with chronic kidney disease and have absolutely no idea. They're told it's just part of getting older. Well, I'm Dr. Adewale, and I'm here to tell you that is a lie. It is not a normal part of aging to have failing kidneys. You see, we have a unique problem in men. We have a tendency to ignore things. We ignore that little ache, that extra weight, that fatigue. We think we're invincible, but as we cross that 50-year mark, our testosterone levels start to naturally decline, which affects everything from muscle mass to mood. Our metabolism slows down, and we don't process toxins as efficiently as we used to. Add to that the usual suspects: high blood pressure, diabetes, years of over-the-counter pain medication use, and we are creating a perfect storm for kidney damage. This is not about fear. This is about facts. That's why your food choices are no longer just about your waistline. They are about survival. Your kidneys need specific nutrients to function optimally, and they need to avoid substances that force them to work overtime. The modern diet is a nightmare for kidneys. It's loaded with sodium, which raises blood pressure and puts strain on kidney blood vessels. It's packed with phosphorus-laden additives from processed meats and sodas. And don't even get me started on the sugar and processed carbs. When you eat like the average person, you are actively poisoning your kidneys. You are forcing them to work triple shifts to filter out the garbage you're putting in. They get tired, they get inflamed, and eventually, they start to fail. This is where we turn things around. This is where you regain control. You don't need expensive drugs or drastic surgery to start supporting your kidneys right now. What you need is the wisdom to use nature's pharmacy. And today, Dr. Adewale is going to talk about 5 powerful fruits that are like special forces for your kidneys, specifically designed to help flush out toxins, reduce inflammation, and support optimal function. Now you might be thinking, fruit, isn't that full of sugar? Isn't that bad for me? That is a common misconception that I must clear up immediately. The sugar in whole fruits is completely different from the refined sugar in a donut. Whole fruits come packed with water, fiber, and thousands of phytochemicals that slow down the absorption of sugar and actually help reduce inflammation. If you are eating a whole apple, you are eating a complex, structured food that nourishes your body. If you're drinking apple juice, you're drinking sugar water. And I beg you, if you take away nothing else from this video, stop drinking fruit juice. It is one of the worst things you can put in your body, as it spikes your blood sugar and floods your kidneys with a concentrated dose of sugar and potassium without the regulating fiber. So forget what you think you know about fruit. We're going to be smart about this. We're going to be strategic. Dr. Adewale is going to show you not just what fruits to eat, but when to eat them, how to eat them, and why they work. This isn't a quick fix. It's a lifestyle shift. But it doesn't stop with just the fruits. Everything has a time and a place. The timing of when you eat these fruits is critical to their effectiveness. If you eat these fruits at the wrong time of day, you might be doing the opposite of what you intend. Your body has a natural rhythm, a biological clock. You need to work with that clock to optimize your kidney function. Some of these fruits are best consumed in the morning to kickstart your system and help your body flush out the toxins that have accumulated overnight. Others might be best saved for the late afternoon to give you an energy boost and support your kidneys as they prepare for the night's repair cycle. And some, like watermelon, are phenomenal for hydration, but could give you a restless night if you eat them right before bed. It's all about being intentional. And let's talk about the bigger picture for a moment. We are not just talking about surviving. We are talking about thriving. Imagine waking up with energy. Imagine your feet not swelling. Imagine feeling clear-headed and strong. This is what is possible when you support your kidneys. When your blood is clean, your whole body functions better. Your brain works better. Your heart works better. Your gut works better. So when we talk about flushing out kidney toxins, what we are really talking about is cleaning your entire system so you can enjoy the life you've worked so hard to build. So I want you to take a deep breath and get ready. This is not a guilt trip. This is a roadmap. We are going to turn the clock back on your kidneys and give them the support they desperately need. We are going to look at the science. We're going to look at the tradition, and we're going to look at what actually works. Stay with me, because we are about to reveal the first of the 5 most powerful fruits to flush out kidney toxins. And I promise you, you are going to be surprised at what made the list and what did not. You are also going to learn the one weird trick that makes these fruits exponentially more effective for men over 60. You won't want to miss it. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about the first fruit that absolutely must be in your rotation if you want to give your kidneys the support they deserve. And I know you might be expecting something exotic, something you have to hunt down at a specialty market. But no, the first one is so simple, so humble, and so readily available that it almost feels too easy. I'm talking about the tart cherry. Now, you might think of cherries as just a sweet treat, but tart cherries, specifically the Montmorency variety, are a completely different animal. They are packed with a compound called anthocyanins. That's what gives them their deep, rich red color. But beyond just looking pretty, these anthocyanins are some of the most powerful anti-inflammatory agents found in nature. And here's why that matters for your kidneys. Kidney damage at its core is an inflammatory process. It's a slow burn. The tiny blood vessels inside your kidneys, the nephrons, are incredibly delicate. When they become inflamed from high blood pressure, from high blood sugar, or from circulating toxins, they start to scar. This scarring is called fibrosis, and once it happens, it is permanent. The nephrons die, and they don't come back. So our number one goal is to reduce that inflammation, to put out the fire before it destroys the house. Tart cherries do that better than almost any other fruit, but they do something else that is incredible. They are one of the few natural sources of melatonin. Not a huge amount, but enough to make a difference. And they don't just have melatonin. They have a unique combination of tryptophan and anthocyanins that work together to improve your sleep quality. I know I keep talking about sleep, and you might be thinking, Dr. Adewale, what does my sleep have to do with my kidneys? I'll tell you, everything. When you sleep, your body goes into repair mode. Your heart rate drops, your blood pressure lowers, and your kidneys finally get a chance to rest and perform their filtration duties without the stress of digestion or activity. Your brain actually clears out waste products during deep sleep. If you are not sleeping well, your body simply cannot heal. So a fruit that reduces kidney inflammation and improves your sleep is an absolute powerhouse. Dr. Adewale recommends a small bowl of tart cherries or a glass of tart cherry juice. And I mean pure tart cherry juice, not the stuff with added sugar, about an hour before you go to bed. It helps quiet the inflammation and sets the stage for a deep, restorative sleep. Now, the second fruit is one that might surprise you. It has a reputation for being a comfort food, but in reality, it is a superfood that is specifically designed to help flush your kidneys. I'm talking about cranberries. Again, this is not about the sugary cranberry juice cocktail you find in the grocery store. That is a sugar bomb, and it will do you more harm than good. I am talking about whole, fresh cranberries, or frozen cranberries, or unsweetened pure cranberry concentrate, the kind that is so tart it makes your face pucker. You've probably heard that cranberries are good for your bladder, but they do so much more. Cranberries are a diuretic, which means they gently increase urine production. This is not about forcing your kidneys to work harder. It's about helping them flush out the toxins and waste products more efficiently. Think of it like this. A slow-moving river collects sediment and becomes stagnant and dirty. A moving river stays clean and clear. Cranberries help keep the river moving. Specifically, they contain compounds called type A proanthocyanidins, which are unique to cranberries. These compounds have been shown to prevent bacteria from sticking to the walls of the urinary tract. While this is famous for preventing bladder infections, that mechanism also reduces the overall burden of inflammation on the entire urinary system, including the kidneys. Less inflammation means the kidneys don't have to work as hard to filter out bacterial byproducts. Furthermore, cranberries are high in quercetin, a flavonoid that has been shown in multiple studies to have protective effects on the kidneys by reducing oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is caused by free radicals, unstable molecules that damage cells. Your kidneys, because they filter so much blood, are incredibly vulnerable to this damage. Quercetin acts like a shield for those delicate nephrons I mentioned earlier. Now, how do you eat cranberries without gagging on the tartness? You can add a handful of whole, unsweetened cranberries to your morning smoothie. You can make a compote, not a sugar-laden pie filling, but just gently simmer them with a little water and maybe a dash of cinnamon and use it to top your oatmeal or your yogurt. Or take a shot of unsweetened cranberry juice diluted with water. The key is to get the pure fruit, the whole fruit, with all its fiber and phytonutrients intact. But here is where the timing and the lifestyle come into play. You cannot eat these fruits and then go back to your old habits. If you eat tart cherries to help you sleep, but then you have a glass of wine right before bed, you've defeated the purpose. Alcohol disrupts sleep and dehydrates you, putting more strain on your kidneys. If you eat cranberries to flush your system, but you're drinking 3 cups of coffee a day and not enough water, you are working against yourself. Coffee is a diuretic, yes, but it can also be dehydrating if you don't compensate with water. And dehydration is one of the biggest enemies of healthy kidneys. Your kidneys need water to do their job. It's that simple. When you are dehydrated, your blood volume drops. This makes your blood thicker and your blood pressure drops. To compensate, your kidneys release hormones to increase blood pressure and restrict blood flow to your kidneys themselves. Think about that. When you are dehydrated, your own body is forced to constrict the blood flow to your very own kidneys. Over time, this causes damage. Dr. Adewale wants you to make a conscious effort to drink a glass of water, a tall glass, first thing in the morning before you do anything else. And drink water with your meals instead of sugary drinks. Your urine should be a light straw color. If it's dark yellow, you are not drinking enough water. So we have 2 fruits that are specifically designed to help your kidneys. Tart cherries for reducing inflammation and improving sleep, and cranberries for flushing the system and providing a protective shield. But we are just getting started. The next fruit we are going to talk about is what Dr. Adewale considers the most overlooked fruit in the world when it comes to kidney health. It's a fruit that you might walk right past in the grocery store, and it is the most powerful tool for managing blood pressure naturally. You are not going to want to miss this one. All right, now we are moving into the heavy hitters. The third fruit on our list is one that Dr. Adewale believes is the single most underrated fruit for men's health, especially for those of you over 60. I'm talking about the humble, unassuming, and often ignored kiwi. Now I know what you're thinking. Kiwi? That fuzzy little green thing? Yes, that exact one. And here's why it is so powerful for your kidneys. It has to do with potassium, but in a way that is completely different from what you might expect. You see, men over 60 have a very delicate balancing act to perform with potassium. If your kidneys are already damaged, too much potassium can be dangerous. But if you have healthy kidneys or kidneys that are just a little sluggish, getting the right amount of potassium is absolutely critical. Why? Because potassium is a vasodilator. It helps relax the walls of your blood vessels. This lowers your blood pressure. And lowering your blood pressure takes an immense amount of strain off your kidneys. But here is the secret with kiwi that makes it so special. It has a nearly perfect ratio of potassium to sodium. The standard modern diet is absolutely flooded with sodium. It's in everything. And when you have too much sodium and not enough potassium, your body holds onto water to dilute that sodium. This increases your blood volume, which spikes your blood pressure. And your kidneys have to work incredibly hard to filter out all that excess salt. It's a vicious cycle. Kiwi breaks that cycle. It gives you the potassium you need to push that excess sodium out of your system, which lowers your blood pressure and allows your kidneys to breathe. But wait, there's more. Kiwi is one of the most fiber-dense fruits you can eat. That fiber acts like a sponge in your digestive tract. It binds to toxins and waste products and helps escort them out of your body through your stool. This is incredibly important because it means your kidneys don't have to filter those toxins out of your blood in the first place. It's like having a pre-filter. If your gut is healthy and moving things along properly, your kidneys have a much lighter load. And for men over 60, kiwi has another superpower. It's packed with vitamin C. Vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant that protects the kidney tissue from oxidative damage. But vitamin C has another key role. It helps your body produce nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the molecule that signals your blood vessels to relax and dilate. Better blood flow means better filtration. It's that simple. Dr. Adewale recommends eating 1 kiwi with the skin on. Just wash it thoroughly and eat it like an apple. The skin contains a huge concentration of the fiber and antioxidants. If you find the fuzz off-putting, just slice it. But don't peel it if you can avoid it. The benefits are well worth the texture. Now, the fourth fruit might be the most surprising of all. It's something you might have in your pantry right now, but you've never thought of it as a kidney-friendly superfood. I'm talking about lemons. Not lemonade, not lemon-flavored things. I am talking about the actual lemon, the whole fruit, and specifically the juice. Lemons are incredibly rich in citric acid. Now, citric acid is not something we talk about enough, but it is a lifesaver for your kidneys. Here's why. One of the major dangers for men over 60 is the formation of kidney stones. Kidney stones are incredibly painful, but they are also a sign that your kidneys are not processing minerals correctly. The most common type of kidney stones are calcium oxalate stones. These form when oxalate binds to calcium in your urine and forms crystals. The crystals grow into stones, and that can block your urinary tract, cause infections, and over time severely damage your kidney function. Citric acid from lemons is one of the most effective ways to prevent this from happening. Citric acid binds to calcium in your urine, but it does it in a way that actually prevents the formation of those crystals. It acts as a natural inhibitor. It literally changes the chemistry of your urine to make it less hospitable for stones to form. It also helps break down small stones that might be starting to form before they become a problem. But the benefits of lemons don't stop there. Lemons have a strong alkalizing effect on the body. Even though they are acidic in taste, once they are metabolized, they help balance your body's pH. A more alkaline environment reduces the overall inflammatory load on your kidneys. And again, we have the vitamin C boost, which we already discussed as being protective. Now, how do you get this into your daily routine? It's simple. Start your day with a glass of warm water with the juice of half a lemon squeezed into it. Don't add sugar, don't add honey, just lemon and water. Drink that first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, about 20 to 30 minutes before you eat anything else. This not only kickstarts your hydration, but also primes your digestive system, helps wake up your liver, and begins the process of alkalizing your body for the day ahead. It's one of the simplest, cheapest, and most effective health habits you can adopt. Now, this brings me to the final fruit, the fifth one, and this is the one that is going to tie everything together. It is the fruit that Dr. Adewale considers the gold standard for kidney hydration and gentle detoxification. I'm talking about watermelon. Yes, watermelon. The fruit of summer, the fruit that reminds us of picnics and hot days. But watermelon is so much more than a nostalgic treat. It is, in Dr. Adewale's opinion, the most powerful fruit for flushing your kidneys, but only if you eat it correctly and at the right time. Watermelon is over 90% water. That is a massive hydration hit. But it's not just water. That water is structured and infused with electrolytes like potassium and magnesium, which are essential for cellular function and blood pressure regulation. When you eat watermelon, you are giving your kidneys a flood of clean, nutrient-rich water that helps them flush out waste products without having to work too hard. But watermelon has a secret weapon. It's a compound called L-citrulline. L-citrulline is an amino acid that your body converts into L-arginine, which is then converted into nitric oxide. And we already talked about nitric oxide. It's the vessel dilator that opens up your blood vessels. By eating watermelon, you are directly supporting healthy blood pressure, which is the single most important thing you can do for your kidney health. However, and this is a big however, watermelon is also a natural diuretic. It will make you urinate. That's part of its power. So you absolutely cannot eat a large bowl of watermelon right before you go to bed. If you do, you will be up multiple times during the night, disrupting your sleep cycle. And we already established how critical deep sleep is for kidney repair. It completely defeats the purpose. The best time to eat watermelon, according to Dr. Adewale, is in the late afternoon, around 3 or 4 o'clock. This is when your body's metabolism naturally starts to slow down. Eating watermelon at this time gives you a clean energy boost, helps you hydrate after the midday slump, and gives your kidneys the raw materials they need to start the overnight filtration process while you are still awake and active enough to process the extra fluid. It is a delicate dance of timing and intention, but when you get it right, it is incredibly powerful. So we have our 5 fruits. We have tart cherries for reducing inflammation and improving sleep. We have cranberries for flushing the system and providing a protective shield against bacteria and oxidative stress. We have kiwi for balancing that critical sodium-potassium ratio, lowering blood pressure, and keeping your gut moving. We have lemons for alkalizing the body and preventing those painful, dangerous kidney stones. And we have watermelon for that massive, structured hydration hit and gentle diuretic effect, but only at the right time of day. Now here is where the rubber meets the road. Knowing these fruits is one thing, but integrating them into your daily life in a sustainable way is where the real magic happens. You can't just eat a handful of these once in a while and expect your kidneys to transform overnight. This is a practice. This is a daily commitment to yourself and your health. Let's build your perfect day. I want you to visualize this. You wake up in the morning. The first thing you do, before your coffee, before your breakfast, is drink a tall glass of warm water with the juice of half a lemon. You feel it waking up your digestive system. You feel it hydrating your cells. You wait about 20 minutes. While you wait, you take a moment to breathe. You think about what you are about to do for your body. You are making a choice to nourish, not to punish. For breakfast, you have a bowl of plain oatmeal or some plain yogurt, and you top it with a handful of fresh, whole, unsweetened cranberries. You might add a few slices of kiwi, skin on, for that incredible fiber and vitamin C boost. This breakfast is a powerhouse. It's low in sugar, high in fiber, and it sets the stage for your kidneys to work efficiently all day long. Your blood sugar stays stable, your blood pressure stays calm, and your body has the fuel it needs to repair and rebuild. Now it's the late afternoon. The sun is starting to go down. You're feeling that familiar afternoon slump. This is when you reach for a bowl of watermelon. You eat it around 3 or 4 o'clock. This gives you that clean energy boost. It hydrates you after a day of activity and gives your kidneys the raw materials they need to begin the gentle flush that will continue through the evening. You're not overloading your system, you're priming it. And then as the evening settles in, about an hour before you go to bed, you have your tart cherries, a small bowl or a glass of pure, unsweetened tart cherry juice. This is your signal to your body that it's time to wind down. The melatonin starts to work. The inflammation quiets. You are preparing your body for the most important part of the day, the repair cycle that happens while you sleep. But I want you to pay very close attention here. This routine works because you are working with your body's natural rhythms, not against them. But there are 2 more lifestyle pillars that are absolutely non-negotiable if you want this to work, and Dr. Adewale hasn't mentioned them yet. The first is movement, and the second is stress. You see, your kidneys love movement. When you move your body, you increase your blood circulation. Better circulation means more blood flows through your kidneys, which means they filter more efficiently. You don't need to run a marathon. A 30-minute walk every day is enough. It gets your heart pumping, it opens up your blood vessels, and it helps flush out toxins through your sweat as well. And the timing of your movement matters. If you can take a walk after your meals, especially after lunch, you help regulate your blood sugar. When your blood sugar spikes, it damages those delicate nephrons. A simple walk smooths out that spike and protects your kidneys. And then there is stress. Men, especially men over 60, carry stress in a very particular way. We internalize it. We bottle it up. We think we are being strong. But what we are really doing is flooding our bodies with cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol raises your blood pressure. It increases your blood sugar, and it creates a state of chronic inflammation in your body. Your kidneys are constantly bathed in this inflammatory soup, and they suffer for it. You have to find a way to let go of that stress. It's not a luxury. It's a necessity for survival. It could be as simple as sitting quietly for 10 minutes a day, just breathing. It could be a hobby that you love. It could be talking to a friend. It could be prayer or meditation. Whatever it is, you need to actively participate in calming your nervous system. Your kidneys cannot heal if your body is constantly in fight or flight mode. Now, I want to circle back to something Dr. Adewale mentioned at the very beginning. I told you there was one weird trick that makes these fruits exponentially more effective. And that trick is simply this: consistency and patience. It's not a pill. It's not a magic shot. It's the daily, boring, unglamorous act of showing up for yourself every single day. Eating the right foods, drinking the water, taking the walk, and calming your mind. That is the trick. That is the secret. There is no shortcut. Your kidneys have been working for you for 6 decades. They are tired. They have been abused. You cannot undo that damage in a week, but you can stop it. You can arrest it, and you can begin the slow, steady process of healing. And those 5 fruits are your tools. I want you to look in the mirror tonight, and I want you to make a decision. I want you to decide that you are worth the effort. I want you to decide that you are not going to accept declining health as inevitable. I want you to decide that you are going to take control of your kidneys and, by extension, take control of your life. Imagine waking up a year from now and you are not getting up 3 times a night. Imagine your blood pressure is in the normal range without a handful of medications. Imagine you have energy to play with your grandchildren, to work in your garden, to travel, to live. That life is not a fantasy. It is available to you right now. It starts with a choice, and it starts with a lemon. Thank you for trusting Dr. Adewale with your health. I am so incredibly grateful for your time and your attention. If this message resonated with you, please share it. Share it with your brothers, your sons, your friends. Men are dying too young from preventable diseases, and we have to start talking about it. We have to start supporting each other. So go on now. Have a glass of water, take a walk, and treat your body like the temple it is. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves.